Welcome to Chatsunami. Hello everybody and welcome to today's episode of Chatsu Shorts. In today's episode I'm going to be talking about the Korean horror film #Alive. While I'm going to try and keep the spoilers to a minimum, there may be some minor spoilers. Without any further ado, please enjoy. Well, it's that time of year again. The leaves on the trees are turning a beautiful shade of orange, pumpkins are being picked by the thousands, and the horror genre is basking in the spotlight. From ghastly ghouls and the paranormal, to slashers and dark comedies, the horror genre has always lurked in the shadows, waiting until Halloween to reveal its monstrous visage. Yes, the iconography of the holiday is extensive, but one particular creature that stands out above all the others is none other than the humble zombie. From the slow shamblers to the swift sprinters, there's a type for everyone within the genre. Nowadays, most zombie films opt for the infected plot device, where an ambiguous virus strikes the globe. From 28 Days Later and Shaun of the Dead, to even games like Left 4 Dead and Resident Evil, the trope still remains strong to this day. However, seeing as in the last episode we covered the popular Korean drama Squid Game, I wanted to take one last plunge into the world of Korean horror films. Initially I considered reviewing Train to Busan, an excellent take on the zombie genre, but after realising that it was probably better suited for my co-host and I to tackle together, I decided instead to review the zombie film #Alive, released in 2020, which I first viewed during last year's lockdown. The film follows Oh Jun-woo, an avid gamer minding his own business, when the zombie apocalypse rudely interrupts his stream. Been there, buddy. The film itself starts at a breakneck pace, with Jun-woo's online friends telling him to check the news. As the plot demands, all hell breaks loose, and in a very well done scene, we see the residents of the area scramble as more and more people begin to turn. We even get a harrowing moment where amongst the carnage, a mother embraces her daughter, and well, I won't ruin what happens next. Isolated from his loved ones and surrounded by the infected, Jun-woo does his best to survive. On the outset, #Alive has the trappings of a stereotypical zombie film, from its delivery of exposition via news broadcasts to moments of tension for the sake of the plot. A lot of the film follows in the footsteps of its sibling films. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it often had me sighing in frustration at moments of story conveniences that all too neatly wrapped up certain aspects together. However, the film has one peculiar strength, reinforced more by the rise of the coronavirus pandemic. For many, 2020 was a year fraught with hardship and isolation, where many were forced to remain away from their loved ones. While the film itself was filmed in 2019 before the pandemic hit South Korea, these relatable themes mesh well with an all too relatable situation. Throughout the film we see this popular vlogger go from a bright-eyed optimist to becoming emotionally drained without the presence of his loved ones around him. I must admit, it isn't a theme I've seen explored often in such films. After all, zombie films usually feature a colourful ensemble of characters doing their best to survive in any way they can, but for a film to turn the focus towards one person and how they deal with it is fascinating. The film then transitions towards themes of perseverance as Jun-woo is introduced to Yoo-bin, another survivor living adjacent to his own flat. Both actors do well to build up a rapport with one another, using technology despite the divide, another aspect of 2020 many are eager to leave behind. Jun-woo is certainly an interesting character to lead with. Characterised as an immature gamer, he struggles to cope in even the most basic aspects of self-preservation as his mental health severely deteriorates. In one such scene, he watches helplessly as survivors below continue trying to fight off the horde, all in vain, of course. Jun-woo is reckless and impulsive, making him the perfect character to grow as the story progresses. On the other side is Yoo-bin, a resourceful woman who is also shown to be rational, yet compassionate. While the second half of the film focuses on their dynamic and the ability to work together, one particular moment towards the end brought this to a halt, as once again we were dragged kicking and screaming into trope territory. From instances of plot armour to certain interactions, this detracted from the focus of the duo forging a human connection amongst adversity. As for the zombies themselves, they're certainly cut from the same cloth as those of 28 Days Later, Train to Busan, or, dare I say it, even the infamous World War Z. Unfortunately, while this is absolutely terrifying to see in action, their abilities are somewhat inconsistent. We are told early on that some can remember their previous professions in life, which as far as I remember only pays off for one infected person. Another slight to the Horde is their almost video game-like ability to find people, which, even for this kind of film, borders on ludicrous. If you so much as fart in your own apartment, then the zombie running club will have your name, your address, and your PIN number faster than a dodgy pop-up ad. While #Alive is far from a perfect zombie film, does that make it a bad one? No, of course not. As I said before, while it borrows from other horror tropes and plot conveniences, the film provides an intriguing insight into a world of isolation and hardship. While these strengths begin to weaken the further the film progresses, the ending will have you on the edge of your seat, wondering what will happen next. So if you're looking for something a little different this Halloween, then I'd say give it a try, you won't regret it. Thank you for joining this episode of Chatsu Shorts. If you like what you heard, then you can listen to more episodes on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcast distributors. On behalf of everyone at Chatsunami, stay safe, stay awesome, stay hydrated, and most importantly, have a very happy Halloween.